Hello and welcome. Now, today we are going to be discussing something very important because after I saw this report from Federal Reserve Bank, I could not sit back since I have proven and time-tested answers, and I'm going to you how you can protect your uh, built up equity in your home as per the Federal Reserve Bank. Let's get into it right away. I don't want to waste your time. And after that 2007, 8, and 9, your financial as well as the housing crash, Federal Reserve Bank came up with a study and it said home equity, if you still had any left, should be separated and put to work to boost your savings as well as retirement. And the big thing is to reduce your risk. Folks, we never stop to think about it, the risk that we are taking. So please just kick back and relax, and it will be to your advantage to just soak in as much as you can and do not try to justify it. And you can always go back and visit this video as many times as you want to, right? But try to get it what we are trying to say. And everything that I'm taking, do not take my word for it. I'm going to be proving it to you because I'll show you my track record. Also, you yourselves will see it where none of our clients who used our strategies did not lose any money in the 2007, 8, and 9 housing as well as financial stock market crash. And since they did not lose, they are way ahead of other people who recovered from those losses. Folks, that is huge, and we are going to show you that. So let's get into it. Then I value your time and I want to give you, I'm going fast, I want to give you the maximum value that I can because there is no expectation in return. I'm doing this thing as a giving back to the community and the country that has been so good to me. And and that's you. Now, you are the most important thing to me. So please, I'm going to give my best. And do not take it that I'm trying to tell you anything, but it is just giving back the knowledge that I have. All right? In the end, I'm going to show you how you can ask your questions also. Many of the things might seem counterintuitive, counterproductive, but no. I'll prove everything to you. All right, let's just get into it, folks. This is very serious and you should take it serious too. If your home is worth $500,000, you're right. I'm doing this thing nationwide. We are licensed nationwide. So, farming in California, you can't even get a one-bedroom condo for this much. But anyway, I'm just taking a very conservative approach, and the prices go down 10%. All right. This is not me trying to scare you or anything. This is the reality, folks. And if we face it, then there's some solutions. If we just keep on saying that, hey, let's just sleep it down and or think about it, then this reality is going to happen. And now imagine that how long will it take for you to save that $50,000 that you just lost instantly? And it's not me saying it, you've seen the slide already from Josie. Okay, so you lost it because either you procrastinated or you did not know how to protect it. The key time to protect it is now, folks. And this last Friday, it was on the national news that the creditors have started tightening up on credit. And what that means is you may not be able to get that equity that is trapped in your house out. If the prices went down, you will guaranteed lose $100,000. Now imagine this thing that many of the people don't even save this $100,000 in their whole lifetime that you lost instantly because, again, either you procrastinated or you did not know. And this is my wish to share with you all of the knowledge your case. I have done my part of it for you. And again, like I said, let me repeat it. I'm not trying to sell you anything. No obligation at all. This is my giving back. All right. So now, my name is Beer Gravoni, and I'm the founder of Financial Advisors of America, and we are a nationwide financial advisory company. I am a top recommended financial strategist, advisor, and author with a proven track record, and I'm going to be showing it to you. All right. You may not have heard my name at all because I had been since I got in this business over 3 decades ago. My clientele had been mostly upper mainstream America, so that's okay, whatever. But now I want to share this thing with everyone, so that way, I'll be at peace because no one has to lose any money. Federal Reserve Bank has issued a warning. They are saying in many markets, the prices have already started crashing in the U.S. market. David Stockman, he was President Ronald Reagan's budget director. He says, I see a fiscal bloodbath coming ahead, and it might be even worse than 2007, 8, and 9. So, folks, just preparing for it, which you will learn today in the next few minutes. And you can be a funky and not even worry about it and come way ahead of anyone else because you will lose. You yourselves will see this thing. The Chicago Tribune did a study on this thing. Equity in your home can be a big disadvantage by having cash value available in your side fund. That's what the Federal Reserve Bank study said. The money should be taken out of your house. Houses are meant to be lived in and not to store cash. Another myth I may bust, your home equity will grow exactly same whether you have the equity trapped in your home or you have taken it out. And by taking it out, you put it in side fund, just like Federal Reserve Bank study says, and it will be growing. They say that it should be put into IRAs and 401ks, but you decide, right? Now, I'm going to show you even a better option than that could put a turbo booster to your money. All right? They say most homeowners are better off than if the equity is tied up in their residence. The second part, they said large idle equity, also called having all your eggs in the same basket, can be risky if the homeowner suddenly needs cash. Most people, if they unexpectedly need cash when they are sick, unemployed, or have insufficient equity, this is a myth that the equity trapped in your house is not your money. It will be gone as soon as the housing prices go down. It can be yours uh, only if you take it out and put it to work for you. All right? So, taking can be either impossible when you are sick, unemployed, or need the money in the still, or very expensive. Now, this thing is already started, like I said, see, last Friday, they said that the lending institutions have already started to tighten up credit. All right. Now I could go on, but let's just take a look at this thing here. You must have heard about Hurricane Katrina a while ago, right in New Orleans, where 80% of New Orleans was flooded. And you might even have heard of a very powerful senator at that time, a very respected senator also, Mr. Trent Lord. You they had, I mean, he was very, very sharp. He was the best at what he did, right? But he just listened to the regular people trying to pay off their homes as fast as possible, right? And which I also suggest our clients here, yes, you should have a paid up home, but the money should not, I repeat, should not be trapped inside the house. You have to get that equity out, and now you haven't seen it. Federal Reserve Banks themselves said, Chicago Tribune. But when reality hit, you also, after that flooding, NBC reporter goes to him and asks him the question, sir, How do you feel about your home now? He said, sadly, we had just paid off our house, and this was going to be my wife's and my retirement adobe for the rest of our life. And he said, we don't know what we are going to do now. All right. So, but before that, when he didn't know that, before the reality hit, right? It was the same senator making extra payments to pay off the house. All right. So, folks, I want you to use your okay, just think about this thing, sleep over it, and you have to take actions. We have fires and earthquakes. We already heard about that Los Angeles fires earlier this year, and many of the people are still struggling and still living on the okay, in rented places and stuff like that. But they are also, and many of them have lost their homes too. Let me just, again, please do not take me wrong, but I'm trying to share the reality with you. Okay. Now, when something like this thing happens, right, your house payments are still due. There is no excuse not to pay your house payments. But at that time, yes, you okay for if you have a lot of money sitting in savings, no problem, you can weather that storm. But like most of the people, it is yours, you okay. When this kind of a tragedy hits, they are trying to get themselves fix their life and don't have that kind of money, and you miss three payments, home payment, and your home goes into foreclosure. And one more thing, guess which homes get foreclosed the fastest? The first is the ones that have the most amount of equity in them, because the bank can turn around and sell it and even make some profit off of that one. But to the other people who have sucked out all the equity out of it, the bank will say, oh, we'll work with you because they are trying to have you maybe borrow money from someone else. So that way they do not have to, they are trying to reduce their own losses. I want you to keep the odds in your side. It's not me saying it, and now you already seen it. Federal Reserve Bank themselves said, Chicago Tribune and stuff. All right. So now I have given you some urgency in this thing, and you have to act fast because credit is already started tightening. And the more we see that, see there is bad news coming about recession, or see the housing prices going down, the lesser you will be able to take out that equity. So you have to, folks, this is not for me. This is for you. You have to get that money out fast and put it in your pocket. And then we will show you. Then I'm going to we'll go into this thing. So where to put that equity money that you have taken out. Okay. For safe. Safety is number one thing. And consistent growth. All right. No, we all know Warren Buffett. Okay, is one of the most successful investors and one of the richest people on earth. And his principle is do not lose money. And then number two principle is do not forget rule number one ever. All right. And then he says the quickest, the fastest, and the most money to be made is in the stock market. And in that same stock market, he says most of the people lose their life savings and they lose their shares because they are innocent investors, do not know that highly sophisticated things. He says always, always participate in the upside of the stock market without the downside risk. Right? So, stock market is where you make the most amount of money, but you have to reduce the risk. No. And the proof of this thing is coming up back in 2019. His money was like $109 billion. That was his, or whatever you want to call it, right? And now the latest is that he is got over $300 billion. And where does he invest? In the same stock market, right? But with that kind of a principle, you get only the upside of the stock market without the downside risk. And that's what I specialize in. And I'm going to show you how I just did not wake up one day and decided to do that. How our planning is different than anyone else because we incorporate the time tested financial strategies that the rich and famous use. And number two is we incorporate laws governing money and IRS rules, and then we'll show you to take your money to whole new levels in a liquid, safe, and tax-free environment. Okay, why in this area? Because in 2007, when the stock market started crashing, your 401k investments and stuff, they were frozen. I'm sure if you tried to take your money out at that time, you could not, and you had to watch your money go down in value every day. And there was nothing you could do. And the excuse given was that they cannot let the banks no, because that will collapse the whole US economy. Knowing what I know now, and I'm going to share with you how learned all of this thing is your money should be liquid. If you want to, my clients they can call up anytime and get their money sent out right away within 24 hours, wherever you want them to send it out to. Okay. Number two is the money should be safe from losses, right? And third thing is if you make Uncle Sam your business partner, that's where we specialize in. And if it is in tax-free environment, it will pay off way more than 50% for the same dollar, for the same money in tax-free environment. Folks, knowledge is power, and that's what I have. And let's get into it. Now, okay, let me share with you the power of tax-free. Okay, protecting your home equity, but no. While I have you here, and I thought, let me just share it with you because I'm not trying to make a sale or anything. I want to give the maximum back to you. Now, here is $1 doubling every period for 20 periods. It does not have to be over 20 years. It can be 20 months, 20 days, whatever it is. And it just goes from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8 and stuff, right? And the way things are and the way the law stands, we are supposed to pay taxes at the end of the year. By the way, I will never be any party to trying to have you cheat or avoid taxes. No. Everyone must pay their fair share of taxes. However, knowledge is power, and that's what I have with me. All right. So now here is $1, it doubles to two, and then you pay. All of my clients are in that 33% tax bracket. So this is all based on 33% tax bracket. Okay. And then money after that 20 periods will go up to about $28,000 here, right? However, if it is in tax-free environment, it will be over $1 million. That's how ordinary people can become millionaire. And Uncle Sam says, if you set up your money according to DEFRA, TAMRA laws in section 7702, 101, and 72E of the then you can come from this category to this category here. I have those things too. Now, IRAs and 401ks are somewhere in the middle here because they are tax deferred. They are better than tax desert. Okay, tax deferred. But knowing what I know, okay, and I do not never, okay, we have much better options, and that's what we specialize in. Now, let me quickly share it with you. I did not wake up one morning and said, well, I'm the genie and I got all the knowledge. After losing everything, I had a beautiful hilltop, custom hilltop home in Aliso Viejo, California, and it was foreclosed on in 1999. Even though I was pretty successful at that time too, but I was just an ordinary advisor and did not know one thing after the other happened. I lost everything. And that is when I decided to learn the rules of the game and how the game of money is played, rules of safely growing money, IRS rules and laws. This is how I came to know about these things. It took me 10 years going to seminars. I traveled crisscrossed around the country to attend the webinars from the best of the best successful financial advisors. And over there, I was looking for those nuggets of success. And I kept on collecting those nuggets, and then I put them together. That's how we came up with this thing. How my planning is different. We incorporate time-tested financial strategies like everyone else, but then laws and IRS rules. And the results came up, amazing. This is the proof that our strategies work. Okay. While others lose money in same stock market when it goes down, with our strategic setup, this is the biggest nugget I learned. How to set it up. And now even Warren Buffett said the same thing. You just get the upside only of the stock market without that downside risk. So our clients' money has consistently grown in the same firms. And how and why? These are the regular firms. And this example that I'm giving you is from the same S&P 500 that when we turn on the TV, we hear about it. It went up or down today. And so we have this thing, stock market versus, I call it the missed fortune strategies, because our strategies as missed fortune strategies, because people miss out fortunes from what they don't know. They don't know. Now, this is an example and it's to be taken as example only, but this is a correct example because there is so many moving parts, right? Your results will be different. This is an example to be taken as an example only. And in this example, this is back in 1999, $500,000 put into this S&P 500. And the way we set it up is when the market goes up, you go up with it up to a cap. All right. The trade-off for that cap is when it goes down, you do not lose any money. Number two is all that profits that you made up till that cap remains your money. And when the market goes down here, in this case, it went down 2 years, your money automatically gets frozen. All right. When the market crashed, all right, our clients did not lose a penny. Even the best feeling I had was at that time, even my clients were calling me up. Everyone's losing money when I told them that don't worry about it. Your money is safe and your profits are also safe. And that was the best feeling I could get. I feel very blessed with that. All right. So now, after that, this thing was the result came out to be over $1 million. Again, your results will be different, could be more or less. You can no guarantees, but this is an accurate example that we are taking here. And it's in the book, Miss Fortune 101 also, yours here. And anyway, now, folks, knowing how the money works, let's just take it that after this thing, the market went up 10%, right? And that will go up on about $42,000, and here it will go up 107,000. That's knowing how the money works. You're right, and no wonder that Warren Buffett just increased his wealth using those same principles from 109 billion in 2019 to just in 5 years. All right. So, folks, this is the magic, and that's what I specialize in, and we specialize in. All right. So, then after that, 2007, 8, and 9, you must have seen me quoted on the national media, and they were asking me as to what are the, how we are different. I showed them. And so now the winning money strategy is any upside only lock in, and you keep the gains also up to those caps. Remember I mentioned there are caps, right? Then that becomes the reset point after 1 year. This is it resets, you have kept all the profits also, and then it restarts yours, okay? From year 2 to 3, if it goes down, if the money gets automatically frozen, and it's all done automatically. All right. Now, let me share with you the next slide I'm going to show you. This is going to be, see, this is a little ditty. What I'm going to show you is someone investing $100,000 for 10 years. And the variable is that they go up 10% 1 year. The second year they go down 10%, third year they go up 10%, fourth year they go down, and so on till year 10. The average person will say that, hey, you will never get anywhere with this thing. With the average, you would lose 4.9%. You see right here. Okay? But the way we set it up, upside only of the stock market, and then keep the profits also. By the way, the cap in this thing is 10%, right? And then when it goes down 10%, you have kept all that profits and it becomes a reset point. Now again 10%, and then it freezes again when it goes down. So going up at the end of 10 years, it is $161,000, folks. 161,000, which is 69% more money. The average person with the average thinking is that hey, you will never get anywhere. And with us, the way we set it up is we were able to get them 61% gains on their money. That is what I learned after losing everything. Now, one more myth, let me bust it for you, is that if you have 25% losses, it's not that when it goes back up 25%, you will be back on that same level. No, no, no. You have to make 33%. In 2007, 8, and 9, people lost 40 to 60%, the average 50%. They had to make a 100% gain at that time just to get back to where they were before the losses. Now, just imagine how long would it take for that market to gain 100%. But since with our clients, since they did not lose, they are way ahead. These people who recovered from those losses, it took them quite a few years, but everyone has made gains. So that is the power of knowing how to set it up the money correctly and be done with that upside only of the stock market without the downside risk. Now, let me just quickly go over, and while things are fresh on our minds, I want to give you the lesson also in this thing. Steve Forbes just recently came up and he said there is a big crisis brewing and ahead is a recession coming up. Knowing what we know, I want your money's odds to be in your favor rather than you just be a sitting duck over there. Not only that, this is serious. Time magazine came up, you'll see that it is time to retire your 401ks, and Stephen Gendel, who did the research on this thing and what you can do instead. All right. And you must have seen the NBC retirement report, and they had said that 401k experience has failed Americans. And guess what? Just recently, you must have heard Mr. Trump saying that hey, we are giving you more options for your IRAs and 401ks. All right, folks. But with us, we have something even much better than that. But with our planning, and Joe, I already showed you in 2007, 8, and 9 what happened. Okay? Now, let me show you how you recession proof your money. So your money will safely grow. I'm making a big claim right here, but it is all true. No matter what happens to the stock market, your money will be safe. And no matter what happens to the economy, firms, companies that we use did not miss a beat during that last 2007, 8, and 9. No matter what happens to the taxes, I already shown it to you. We put you into a tax-free environment. Remember I showed you that how you become millionaires, right? In tax-free environment. then it does not matter which party comes into power, whether they try to increase the taxes or with all the knowledge that we have, we want you to be funky. And now, the biggest thing, this is our proprietary product. What if this machine breaks down? What I mean by that is, see, what if we have a heart attack, stroke, cancer, or something like that, and at that time we are running to the doctors and hospitals, income stops, bills don't stop, the financial disaster starts for most of the people. Not only that, even those IRAs and 401ks and retirement plans or savings that you have, right? They will freeze because you cannot fund those programs, and the dream that you had thought about your future will come to a screeching halt for most of the people. All right? With us, here with our new program, okay, this becomes a self-completing. The vision that you have of yours, okay, will become self-completing at that time. We hear that information also with our clients. All right. So now, folks, let's get towards conclusion. The Federal Reserve Bank, let me just say that they should, home equity should be separated. And in this case, since it has already started going down, it should be separated immediately and put to work, all right, to boost your savings and retirements and reduce your risk. Folks, I already showed it to you that Senator Trent Lott's situation, what happened. And he was one of the sharpest and most successful senators. He was good at what he does, but he did not know. He just listened to the everyday people, that, oh, well, I want to have a paid up home. Yes, I also say you must have a paid up home because that's financial security. And, but the money should be in your control where no one can freeze your money. You see, well, things get really bad and it is your money and you cannot lose any of it. You get to keep the profits also up to those limits. Now, decision is yours. So let me just quickly recap right here. You're on a $500,000 home. If it goes down 10%, you'll guaranteed lose 50,000. Now, if it is 20%, last time the housing as well as that stock market crashed and it lost between 40 to 60%. And I'm just giving the example of 20%. 20% loss is 100,000. If it is 40%, will be 200,000. And if you do not act fast, it's like now, then it could just be a bad dream for you, and then it will be only you to be blamed, okay, not anyone else, because they have already started tightening up, and you have to you go fast and shop around, see how much actually you can get out of it. If I'm not saying that you need to do something, the decision is completely yours, folks. And so do not take it that, oh, that guy was trying to tell me. No, 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 no. And then you're okay. We like you to set up your money this way. So that way you are funky. And on top of that, what we do is we want you to be completely funky and go enjoy life without the your stress of money. When we set it up this way, we have this thing that in case of your health problems like heart attack, stroke, and cancer and stuff like that, then it will become self-completing up to the limits that you subscribe to yours with that. Let's conclude. This is for real. This is not me trying to say anything. Take this warning very seriously, please. Now, like I had said before, this is my giving back to the community and with no expectations in return. I usually charge $5,000 as a retainer to start with, with my uh, clientele. All right. However, this is my offer to you. Okay. And you can book a free consultation, completely free. There will be no bill, nothing at all. There's a 20-minute private confidential consultation. In the link below, you will see there is a confidential financial questionnaire also. If you will fill that thing out, I will give you some ideas as to where you should put your money. You can even go back to your advisor if you feel that they know those DEFRA, TAMRA laws and section 7702, 72E 101, etc. You see, right? Okay, because those are the key to unlocking what I just said, everything. And over there, if not all the I's or T's are crossed, then it will not give you the same results that we discussed. All right. So please do another favor, since it is giving back to the community only with no expectations in return. This is a tribute to my father. So when I was growing, my father, he was a very prominent police chief back in India. He used to say, son, when you grow up, try to make something of yourselves. And when you do, just do not tiptoe through life. Try to help uplift other people. And with that, you might have seen it on my card. I'm the founder of Interfaith Charities International. And so that's my giving back to the community. One more thing, if I may, that I've been seeing many of the parents, they try to leave their adult children alone. We don't like to interfere in them. Maybe you okay, just share with them if they have not heard this kind of information and these strategies that could help them also, and help your friends and family very soon, very, very soon. They will be thanking you, because if they are homeowners, okay, they have to protect that equity right away. And most of the people do not know. By the way, one thing in conclusion, many people, it just makes sense when the equity goes up. A lot of people had sucked out all that equity out, right? And then they try to invest it on their own. This could have happened to you, that when you try to invest it, and then the stock market also went down, you lost the money that you had pulled out from the equity. Most of the people lost their homes also, and many of them still have not recovered after 15 years. If you want to do it responsibly, the way we said it, you can go back and watch this thing again and again. So do yourselves a favor too, okay? This is a professionally managed things, and we have shown you how it can be. All right? And with that, I want to thank you so very much for your time and your attention. I hope I have been able to deliver some value for you for all this time you had spent with me. Thank you. Blessings. Bye bye.